Today I have 3 different designs for putting together some super easy to make decoupaged Easter eggs. This is part of the Using Trash to Create Treasure, which is hosted by Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine and Julia from The Mug Life. So I'm making use of this old basket of Easter eggs that I had in my stash. And so these are different shapes and sizes, but definitely thought that they would make good forms for repurposing and making some Easter egg designs and some decor for Easter to use around my house. So for this first design, I am using these rose covered napkins. So check out in my description below. If you click on the title to this, you will see more text appear and you will see a link to the playlist for everyone's video. So you could see everyone else who is participating in this challenge and making use of recycled or trash items. If you are new to this channel and you like this idea, think about subscribing, and you just have to click the red button on the right and then you will be subscribed to my channel, and then every time you go back into YouTube it would be displayed as one of the channels that you subscribe to. So I'm using Mod Podge here, and I just took a little bit of water and shook it up. I watered it down a little bit because the Mod Podge is pretty sticky and it does dry out quickly. And so throughout this whole project, I'm going to be using a little bit of water to lighten the product. And if you've never used Mod Podge before, it's just kind of a thin glue-like material that dries clear after it goes on. And so I layered the Mod Podge on the entire egg to start with, and then I'm just putting on the small pieces of the napkin. And so this took a couple of layers because that napkin is pretty thin paper, and so I just layered them on because it does get kind of translucent, and so you can still see the egg through, which I didn't actually mind because I wound up using a lot of the pink, and I had enough in that bag of miscellaneous Easter eggs from Easter egg hunts of the days past. So I did just try to use the yellow eggs and the pink eggs for this one because the color shows through a little bit, but I think it just added to the design. Yeah, so it goes on quickly, but I kept rotating it in my hand because the paper can start to peel away, and so that's why I'm using the rubber gloves here, because that Mod Podge gets all over the place. It starts to dry, and it really likes to dry to nail polish, so I have to watch out for what's left of my my manicure. Okay, so for the second design, I'm using some pages from a textbook, and this is not a special book by any means. I read this book and thought it was okay to repurpose it in this manner. So I just liked seeing the text on the pages, and so I picked pages that didn't have a lot of white space, a lot of blank area. I want to see the text on the actual egg, and I'm ripping the pages as opposed to cutting for this one because I like seeing the ripped edges of the paper. I think it's really cool. And so yeah, and so I use a lot of I keep spraying it now and then to make sure that it doesn't stick to my hands too quickly there. And this paper is thicker, so this was really actually pretty easy because once that first piece goes on and it gets damp, then just keep rotating it around, and yeah, it sticks really quickly. So at the end of this video, I'm also going to be showing you what what I do with these, where I place these eggs, and where I've got them in my house. So for design number 3, I'm going to use a combination of copy paper and brown paper bags. I'm just going to use these little lunch bags. So for this project, I didn't buy anything new. I just shopped to my house. I think it's a good time to, in this time where we are practicing social distancing, I think it's nice to do some projects. And so I have to thank my daughter. She helped me with these eggs, and it's nice to do some projects and feel productive and spend time with our family at this time when we all have to stay in. So at the end of this, I'm going to show you where I have these things set up, because I think it's nice just to have a little bit of Easter decoration sprinkled throughout the house to make things look cheery. And so these went together pretty quickly. This whole thing is super easy. So also in my description will be the links to both channels for Casey and Julia. So I do thank them for hosting this. And let's also visit the playlist, see what everyone else has come up with. So most of the things that I'm going to be showing you for the baskets, I've thrifted or had from other projects. And so I'm doing the white copy paper and the brown paper bag, so they kind of simulate white and brown eggs. I don't know if everybody gets that, but I think that's what I was going for. Okay, and so to dry them, I'm using a baker's rack, same kind of rack that when I take cookies out of the oven, let those cool off on that rack. And I just have plain parchment paper underneath there. That's what I'm using just to layer it. And I rotate the eggs, so if they get a little sticky, I move it before they stick to the paper. So here's my first little basket. Got this at a garage sale last year for $1. And I think it's going to be perfect for this technique. I'm using this white craft glue that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm coating the entire piece. I'm going to let that dry, because this dark color is going to show through once I paint it again. And just an uneven coat doesn't have to be perfect. That's why I like this project. Super easy. And so now that it's dry, I'm coating it with white acrylic paint, and it will start to kind of crackle, look like it's peeling off. And yeah, so this is the paint that I used. It's just acrylic in a big container I've had for a while. Okay, so now for the napkin decoupage eggs, I'm going to use this basket, which I think is so cute, with the chicken wire, perfect for displaying eggs. And I got that at Goodwill a couple of months ago, and I just gave it a super quick coating of watered down white paint, so it has that sort of whitewash look. It was kind of dark gray, or had, I don't know, it was inconsistent. So I gave it a little coating of white paint. And so here's my little basket, and that's the crackle. I gave it a little sanding to bring out that black paint underneath on the edges super quick. And so I'm lining this one with straw and just filling it with the textbook ads, the eggs. And so for the last one, I'm going to use a more traditional Easter basket. And there's Casey. She's my little helper. And for this one, I'm going to use this paper simulated grass that is almost the same color pink as what's on the outside of that basket. And thanks, Mom. This was a Easter basket that my mom gave me a couple years ago. And so I'm going to use this one to display the brown and white eggs. Brown and white egg combo. I think they look pretty in that. And here they are close up. Yeah, they dry really glossy. Oh, and I did use gloss Mod Podge. Mod Podge comes in, I think it's only two finishes, matte and gloss, and this was a gloss. So on some of them they look glossier than others, but I think they have a nice sheen to them. Okay, so here's the first spot that I'm placing the napkin decoupage eggs. And so for me, I always do everything with flowers. I do some designs in all of my projects, and for that one I just coupled it with that white arrangement I got from Home Goods a while ago. And for this one, that was a flower arrangement that I repurposed. I'll put the link to that up above on the right in an iCard. And this is going on my sunroom. Oh, the decoupage napkins, those were going next to my computer. And so for the third placement, these brown and whites, I'm putting these in my mudroom for a little cheery entryway there. And that vase I got at Goodwill 2 years ago, and that's actually from Bed Bath & Beyond. So thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate your support and watching, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye-bye.